So why don't we allow the ICC to come here, investigate, get the information to find out that they are wrong? Are they wrong or right? Are they wrong or right?
Well, we believe, Your Honor, that the ICC has no
No, I would
factual-
like, but please,
has no
please
fact-
answer.
Yes.
Are they wrong or right?
In what, Your Honor? To be more
It-
specific.
In their supposition and in the prosecution that they would like to conduct, are they wrong or right?
Well, the ICC...
Yung po bang kanilang reputasyon, ang kanilang palagay sa atin, tama ba sila o mali?
The ICC is wrong.
If they're
In
wrong,
concluding...
if they're wrong,
Opo.
let's allow them to come here to prove that they're wrong.
Hindi po hindi po ganun Sila po ay mali in the sense na ang tingin nila, doon po sila mali. Kaya ang dapat na gawin natin para ipakita natin na mali sila ay hindi papasukin sila.
Do you mean to
Yun
tell
po
me,
ang
Atty.
proper...
Guevara,
At-
let me, do you mean to tell me, Atty. Guevara, that we are only strengthening because of what the ICC is doing?
No, hindi po. Hindi po. Hindi naman po dahil lang doon.
So let me ask
Ito po ay
Atty.
duty natin.
Let me ask Tony Neri and Attorney address them. What do you think about that?
Agree, Your Honor, kasi ang tingin ng mundo na dyan, ayaw niyang pasukin because the ICC is right.
So ibig sabihin na firm pa rin kayo sa inyong paniniwala na dahilan sa nag-withdraw ang Philippine government noong panahon ni President Duterte ay dapat hindi mag-cooperate ang Philippine government at dapat hindi mag-imbestiga ang ICC.
Hindi po. Ang sinasabi po namin,
Sobrang nakakagulat na balita. Grabe, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte nagulat sa ginawa ng Kongreso. Pinatawag na ni Abante ang ICC. Ayon sa nakalap nating impormasyon, nagkasagutan si Congressman Benny Abante at Menardo Guevara. Matapos sabihin bakit wala pa rin dito ang ICC, pinipigilan daw ba ni Solicitor General? Halos maihi sa kahihiyan ng pangaralan niya ang dating Justice Secretary, wag daw siya turuan kung ano ang legal. Tara panoorin natin.
Secretary Guevara, can you please enlighten me on this?
yes, Your Honor.
One of the reasons why I filed Resolution 1477, I call it exact global accountability. Layman's language tells us that what's happening now is a nagging problem already for how many years? In fact, when the President Duterte was the president, I've always supported his decision on this. But Mr. Secretary, it has been 7 years now and still going on. And I was wondering when is it going to stop? The thing is this, the ICC does not agree with our point. Now, I believe that the criminal justice is working in the Philippines. But sinasabi ko nga dito, our cooperation with the ICC reflects our willingness to be transparent and responsible on the world stage, because what the world sees now is what the ICC tells them, what not the Philippines tell them. I'd like you to tell me about that. Do you agree with that, Mr. Secretary?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but not quite. Not quite. Dahil ang ating Philippine government naman po ay nag-submit ng necessary information sa ICC Prosecutor's Office. Kaya nga lamang po ang tingin niya ay insufficient yung ating ginagawa. Just to supplement po yung...
Let me interject, Secretary. Yeah, you mentioned that kanina. You mentioned it kanina. Pero alam niyo naman ang ICC, may question din dyan Di ba? Sabihin nila, hindi naman enough yung information na binibigay niyo sa amin. So why don't you allow us to go there and have our own investigation?
Well, ay viewpoint nila yon, ano po. Pero tayo naman ay merong pinakita talaga na actual na information na mapagbabasihan nila kung tayo ay kumikilos o hindi kumikilos. As of, for example po, as of October 2023, yung pong naunang priority cases na galing sa PNP, 56 ng laban cases. 25 were closed for lack of interest on the part of the complainants or requesting party. 19 cases are still pending investigation. 12 cases were filed before various courts and prosecutors' offices. May conviction na po dyan kina Arnaiz, kay Kulot de Guzman, may case for homicide against for the death of Crispin Vedanio, may criminal case against a police officer for the killing of a certain Garbo, the filing of information for the murder of certain Sawadjaan, Bacalso, and Hofer, for the death of Leo Morata. Public police officers who were involved in the killing of Richard Santillan and Casing are currently on trial for murder before the RTC of Cainta. Information for murder was filed against police officers involved in the killing of a Spanish national by the name of Diego Lafuente. Cases for murder were filed in the case for the death of a certain Elpidio Sevilla Francisco, etc., etc. 250 other non-laban cases were investigated by the NBI Bulacan District Office. But quite unfortunately, Your Honor, according to the NBI, 70 to 80% of these cases in Bulacan were left hanging because the victims' families could not be located or were uncooperative. In the entire Central Luzon area, 58 cases are under investigation. So, in short, Your Honor, these are being done by our investigative agencies. It's just that konti pa lang po yung nakakarating sa ating mga husgado because we have a certain process to follow. Yung pong sa preliminary investigation could take some time. And sometimes these are appealed by way of certiorari kung meron pong finding ng probable cause. So, it's because of our process. Hindi naman po pareho ang proseso natin at ng ICC. Yung kanila po kung ano ang gusto nilang gawin. Kung gusto nilang mag-investiga, kung gusto nilang magpa-aresto kaagad, they can do so. Pero yung sa atin po, hindi ganun yung process. And our process needs time. Parang na-straight jacket nga po tayo. Binigyan po tayo ng panahon para pakita na may ginagawa tayo. Pinakita naman natin na may ginagawa tayo. Kaya lamang, wala pang nakakarating masyadong marami sa mga courts dahil nga po may process. So, maring ito po ay hindi katanggap-tanggap. Maring ito po ay kulang sa paningin ng ICC. Pero hindi naman po ibig sabihin na wala naman tayong ginawa. I hope that the DOJ and the law enforcement agencies are now exerting greater efforts para po masabi naman talaga na ito namang ating sistema ay nagpa-function.
So, John, can I just cut you there? And
Sige po.
because the numbers that you mentioned, no, although it's less than 1,000, the figures that you just mentioned now, and that they were claiming that there were 7,000 plus deaths. No?
Opo.
And what I find strange, Mr. Soljan, is the fact that when the PNP and the DOJ were asked about this, no one seemed to have any clue as to the number of cases that were filed. And it strengthens the suspicion kasi that our government agencies are not doing enough. Now, knowing that this is an issue that has been hounding not just this administration but the previous administration also, parang it presupposes that we take it seriously and that we have the figures at hand, no? So I was going to ask the figures from the PNP and the DOJ to be submitted to the joint committees, but since you already mentioned it, can you please furnish the joint
Yes
committees
po.
with copies
Ito
of those?
po ay as of October 2023 at ito po ay base lamang sa information available to the OSG. Pero syempre po, ang higit na makakaalam dyan ay ang ating mga law enforcement agencies at ang DOJ.
So then,
Binolunteer ko lang po ito
Okay.
para merong idea kayo na ito naman ang ginagawa. ng
yes, sir.
ating
So we
gobyerno.
will be directing the PNP and the DOJ to please submit the figures, no, asked by Representative Bordado earlier.
Mr. Secretary, nabanggit mo kanina, yun ang palagay ng ICC, di ba? I mean, I do not question the process of our legal system here in the Philippines. What I question is the reputation we're having abroad. Whether we like it or not, the reputation we have right now is better believed with what the ICC says. So sa akin, the resolution is, so why don't we allow the ICC to come here, investigate, get the information to find out that they are wrong? Are they wrong or right? Are they wrong or right?
Well, we believe, Your Honor, that the ICC has no
No, I
Factual.
want, but please,
Yes, no,
please
fact-
answer.
yes.
Are they wrong or right
in what, Your Honor, to be more
It-
specific?
in their supposition and in the prosecution that they would like to conduct? Are they wrong or right? Are they wrong in all the accusations being hurled against some against the government? The ICC?
Well, the ICC,
Yung po bang kanilang reputasyon, ang kanilang palagay sa atin, tama ba sila o mali?
the ICC is wrong
If they're
in
wrong,
concluding.
if they're wrong,
Opo.
let's allow them to come here to prove that they're wrong.
Hindi po hindi po ganun eh. Sila po ay mali in the sense na ang tingin nila ay hindi unable and unwilling ang ating judicial and legal system. Doon po sila mali. Kaya ang dapat na gawin natin para ipakita natin na mali sila ay hindi papasukin sila, kung hindi strengthen yung ating ginagawang investigative and prosecutorial functions.
Do you mean
Yun
tell
po ang
me, Attorney
proper-
Guevara,
At,
do you mean tell me, Attorney Guevara, that we are only strengthening because of what the ICC is doing?
no, hindi po. Hindi naman po dahil lang doon.
So let me ask
Ito po ay
Attorney,
duty natin.
let me ask Tony Neri and Attorney address there. On the statement I made, what do you think about that?
Agree, Your Honor, kasi ang tingin ng mundo na dyan, ayaw niyang pasukin because the ICC is right. Di ba? Kasi if it's working, you show it, di ba? So, otherwise, ang isipin nila, ayaw niyang papasukin kasi the ICC is right and the complainants are right and, so I don't see any problem. Ang intindi ko kay Soljen kanina, wala akong nakitang parang sa kanya, if they want to come, they can come, no? But we have no legal duty to cooperate. It's a political decision. Parang nakita ko naman kanina. So legal duty, ina-assert na wala yon, but of course, if Malacanang says so, it's a political decision. They can. So, pero, I mean, if it's even political, then that is on the issue of image and diplomacy, as mentioned kanina, that becomes very important. Siyempre sa amin, Mr. Chair, we assert na, as we mentioned, 7,732. And then Congressman Flores said, 1,000, halos less than 1,000 ang nabanggit eh. Parang, are you really willing? 7,000, I mean, so yeah, Mr. Chair, I agree with your point na di pakita natin na mali sila by letting them witness.
So if you agree with me, Attorney Neri, mag-i-stop na yung akusasyon ninyo.
Well, let's see kung ma-prove ng Philippine government na
Magiging kontento na kayo if you agree.
well, if there is real justice in the Philippines, Mr. Chair, magiging kontento, hindi lang kami, we're talking of the families of the victims. Pag may genuine and serious investigation and prosecution, who is there to complain about serious investigation and prosecution? Yes,
Sila
Mr. Chair.
Your Honor, let me just put this in proper perspective. Yung pong report na merong mga 6,000 o 7,000 na insidente na may namatay, hindi naman po ibig sabihin na lahat noong 6,000 or 7,000 cases na yon ay nangyari na may abuse or merong lapse on the part of our law enforcement agencies. As a matter of fact, doon po sa initial na evaluation ng Internal Affairs Service ng PNP, ang majority po naman dyan na operations by law enforcement agents were regular. At wala naman po silang nakitang pagkukulang on the part of law enforcement agents. Kaya lamang po, meron ding mga several incidents na nakita mismo ng PNP na may pagkukulang. Kaya yun po ang pinaprioritize na mismong PNP nagsabi may pagkukulang tayo dyan. Pero hindi naman po ibig sabihin na yung 6,000 o 7,000 yon ay puro merong abuse of power ang PNP. Sila mismo nakita na po nila yan on an initial investigation na great majority ay tama naman ang operations. Kaya lamang, ganun pa man, kahit ganun ang sabi ng PNP IAS, ang DOJ po at that time had an agreement with the PNP and the NBI na, okay, PNP, kahit na ganyan ang finding nyo na walang sabit yung mga law enforcement agents nyo, ipagpapatuloy pa rin ng DOJ at ng NBI ang pag-verify. In other words, i-double check namin kung yung in-exonerate nyo ay talagang dapat na ma-exonerate. Pero for now, unahin namin ito, matter of priority. Ito yung in-identify nyo na talagang merong problema. So unahin namin ito, pero hindi ibig sabihin na hindi namin babalikan the other thousands of cases where the police officers were exonerated.
Hindi masyadong malinaw sa akin. So yung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon na Solicitor General na ayaw makipag-cooperate ng Philippine government sa ICC pero pinapayagan sila mag-imbestiga. Yun ba ang gusto mo sabihin?
Yes, hindi naman po natin pinagbabawalan na mag-investigate yung prosecutor dahil yun po ang...
Therefore, naniniwala din kayo
Mhm.
na may jurisdiction ang ICC na mag-imbestiga kahit na hindi mag-cooperate ang gobyerno.
Kahit po hindi makipag-cooperate ang government, ang basihan po kasi ng lack of cooperation ay dahil nga po until now ay china-challenge pa rin natin ang jurisdiction ng ICC dahil po hindi niya na exercise yung jurisdiction na yon sa tamang panahon. Hanggang ngayon po ay yun ang ating pinapangatawanan. At wala pong aspeto yung decision ng Appeals Chamber tungkol doon. Kaya hanggang ngayon po, yun ang ating minemaintain.
So ibig sabihin na firm pa rin kayo sa inyong paniniwala na dahilan sa nag-withdraw ang Philippine government noong panahon ni President Duterte ay dapat hindi mag-cooperate ang Philippine government at dapat hindi mag-imbestiga ang ICC.
Hindi po. Ang sinasabi po namin, there is no legal duty on the part of the Philippine government to cooperate. Yun lamang po ang sinasabi namin.
Okay. Maliwanag naman yun, Mr. Chairman, na ang sinasabi ni Solicitor General, pwedeng mag-imbestiga ang ICC, conduct the preliminary investigation dito. Makalagay ko, dito naman ang mga ebidensya, dito yung mga testigo, pero ang gobyerno ay hindi magko-cooperate sapagkat wala silang legal duty. Kahit na admitted naman na doon sa Article 127, may legal duty ang Pilipinas to cooperate in the investigation. Ngayon, ang sabi ng Solicitor General, Mr. Chairman, ay meron pang question sa admissibility or yung complementarity.
Jurisdiction and admissibility po.
Okay. Yung sa complementarity, wala nang problema ba yun?
Hindi po. Until now, we maintain our position kasi na ang may primary responsibility ay ang ating mga national institutions pa rin.
Okay. Pero doon sa complementarity, hindi naman tinutukoy yung the whole gamut of the judicial system in the Philippines that it is working or it is not working. Ang tinutukoy lamang ay tungkol dun sa kaso before the ICC. Kung yung bang respondents ay being prosecuted or being tried in Philippine courts. That should be the context of complementarity. Si former President Duterte ba at sila, yung mga kanyang major correspondents ay meron ng prosecutor na Pilipino, prosecutorial office na may nakapending na reklamo laban sa kanila na iniusig.
As far as the former president is concerned, Your Honor, wala pa po dahil wala pong nagfa-file ng complaint against him. Nung time na siya ay presidente, that's understandable dahil siya po ay may immunity from suit. Pero ngayon po na hindi na siya presidente, wala namang nagfa-file ng complaint sa kanya.
Yung gobyerno ba mismo, yung prosecutor mismo ay hindi pwedeng mag-file on their own sapagkat merong krimen, our laws and our international law?
Ang ating usual procedure po ay merong complainant, halimbawa yung biktima, kung sila po ay nag-allege na ang presidente ang siyang pasimuno ng lahat ng ito, ay sila po ang dapat na mag-file ng kaukulang complaint.
Motu proprio ang gobyerno hindi pwedeng mag sa prosecutor's office.
Depende po, sino po bang mga
Hindi
tao
ko-
ang...
sino si Senator Bato ba meron?
Wala po.
Wala.
Wala naman pong nag-file ng any complaint against him.
Okay. Meron ba naman na nakapending na kaso sa husgado sa Pilipinas laban kay former President Duterte at mga kanyang correspondents hinggil dun sa crimes against humanity tungkol sa deadly war on drugs?
Let me just clarify this, Your Honor, kasi yung iniimbestigahan po ng ICC ay ang Philippine situation in general. Wala naman pong any specific persons na tinutukoy ang ICC prosecutor sa panahon na ngayon. Ano po?
Right.
Kaya nga po siya magko-conduct ng investigation with the end in view of specifically identifying certain individuals at a later time. Pero wala pa po tayo doon eh. Wala naman hong ina-identify ang ICC prosecutor na specific persons na siyang papaharapin sa ICC trial chamber kung kinakailangan. Sa ngayon po, wala pa po tayo doon sa stage na yun. It's the Philippine situation being looked into by the prosecutor. Kaya po, hindi po parang or examination na gagawin ang ICC prosecutor. But we never saw yung matter noong mga complaints na yon ay mga certain individuals like the former president, I think certain PNP officials, Senator Bato de la Rosa. Yun po ay nag-gather na lamang namin from media reports. Pero hindi po yun as in binigyan ng kopya ng reklamo ang Philippine government para po makapag-comment naman kahit papano ang Philippine government. Hindi po nabigyan ng ganong klaseng opportunity ang Philippine government nung time na nag-gather po ng facts or ng evidence yung prosecutor.
Ang gusto mong sabihin, Solicitor General, at the initiative of the Philippine government or its officials, hindi kayo kumuha o humingi ng mga complaints sa inyo para malaman ninyo kung ano talaga ang linalaman ng mga complaints?
We did. As a matter of fact, we requested copies of these complaints.
And you were also given copies of the complaints?
No, we were not given copies of these complaints. Until now, Your Honor, I have not seen a copy of any of these complaints.
Sino ba sa mga resource persons ay may copy ng mga complaints na ito?
Mr. Chair, copy of
The
the
complaints sa ICC.
kami, Mr. Chair, may copy kami ng complaint namin and of course the complaint of Attorney Sabio. Maybe Attorney...
Pakibigyan mo nga si Solicitor General para malaman niya kung anong linalaman ng mga complaints na yan.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At bigyan mo rin ang joint committees ng kopya ng mga complaints na yan.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pinag-uusapan natin na kayo lang nakakakita.
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Chair. At saka I'd just like to add, Mr. Chair, if I may, yung Department Circular 20-A lang ng DOJ about motu proprio investigation, if in the information of the DOJ a crime has been committed, parang wala akong nakita na need of a complainant dito. And in fact, the PNP is even motu proprio also required to investigate under the Department Circular if no, kahit walang complainant, if they feel that there's a crime being committed. So yun lang, Mr. Chair, gusto kong i-add thousands of deaths. And I think that's enough information to at least initiate an investigation despite
Attorney
the
Nery,
absence of
Attorney Nery, ilan
Mr.
po ang complaint na na-file ninyo?
Sa ICC po, isa po. But it involves about 7 families of the AJK victims, and of course, Rise Up for Life, the church NGO, Mr. Chair, who initiated it.
Are there others nag-file ng complaints sa iba? For example, like Attorney
Sabio, yes, Mr. Chair.
meron po ba?
And there could be others who filed, but because probably for some reason, like they're afraid to be known, they did not announce it. But it's really possible that there are many other complaints filed either before Attorney Sabio or after 2017. We don't know. But we have information that there are other victims who went there, except that unlike the Rise Up for Life and Attorney Sabio, they did not disclose their identities, Mr. Chair.
So the request of Congressman Lagman na bigyan nyo ng kopya si Solicitor General Guevara on the complaints, can you do that?
We will do that, Mr. Chair.
And please give a copy to the committee also.
We will do that,
Mr.
Mr. Chair. Salamat.
Gusto ko lang pong balikan yung tinatanong kanina ni Honorable Edsel Lagman. Yun po kasi doon po sa mga libo-libong insidente na mayroong napatay sa mga police operations na may kinalaman sa war on drugs, ang PNP po, nandito ang representative ng PNP, automatically po yung kanilang Internal Affairs Service ay nagko-conduct ng kanilang sariling investigation, at kung sa tingin nila ay merong parang lapses or hindi tamang pag-conduct ng kanilang let's say police operations, ay pinapatawan naman po nila ng kaukulang disciplinary action, or kung kailangang i-file sa kaso sa DOJ ay ginagawa nila. Pero nung pong time na ito ay naging mainit na issue, ang ginawa po ng DOJ, ako po yung Justice Secretary at that time, hiningan po namin ang Internal Affairs Service ng PNP ng lahat ng kanilang investigation reports tungkol sa mga killings na incidental to the conduct of police operations. At sila naman po ay fortunately nagpa-unlock. So ibinigay po nila sa DOJ at least 56 cases na ang tingin nila ay may possible liability yung mga police officers involved. On the part of the DOJ, nung matanggap po namin yun, Congressman Edsel, ang ginawa po namin, dahil yon ay initial examination lamang ng PNP, nirefer po namin sa National Bureau of Investigation for case build-up. Kaya po doon sa proseso na yon na mayroong sariling investigation, automatic ang Internal Affairs Service, napunta ng DOJ inassign sa NBI para po mag-case build-up. Meron pong mga kaso resulting from that na-file ang formal complaint sa DOJ for preliminary investigation, at yung ibang kaso po ay nakarating sa husgado. So, yun po yung proseso. Hindi naman po talaga as in walang gagawin ang DOJ kundi maghintay. Dito po sa situation na to ay ugnayan po kami sa PNP para po kunin sa kanila yung mga reports ng kanilang initial investigation.
Mr. Chair, can we ask Congressman Lagman to ask questions, second round, so we can give opportunity for the others to ask questions too?
Sige, I just would like to just sum up my questions.
Okay.
If I have, may I just ask for a few minutes extension?
Go ahead, Congressman Lamar.
Let me go join to the reason for the 1 year after effectivity of a withdrawal. I think one of the reasons so that yung cases covered will not anymore be under the jurisdiction of the ICC. Is that correct?
It appears to be the one of the reasons for the 1 year period.
Another reason for the 1 year period is to respect complementarity, so that that in that span of time, the domestic jurisdiction can.
Period, Your Honor.
So I will ask for a second round, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Lagman. We would now like to recognize Congressman Bongalon of the party list Ako Bicol.
Thank you, chairpersons. I will reserve my right to ask questions later, and I will give way to the members of the minority to ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Bongalon. Now we would like to recognize Representative Bordado. Sir.
Thank you. I am directing my question to the representative of the Department of Justice. Some clarificatory questions, Mr. Chairman. You're telling us, Madam Prosecutor, that the DOJ is focusing on 7,000 plus cases. Is that correct?
Sir, yes, because this is the figure, this is the number that was submitted by the Philippine. Nakuha nila out of the big universe of incidents that involved that was involved in the drug war, sir. So I cannot even categorically say how kung ilang 7,000 po, kasi this is actually a moving number. From what I understand po, yung ating mga personnel from the PNP continue to process these cases, and together with the panel that was created by Secretary Remulla, we will sit down with the Philippine National Police personnel as well as the PDEA personnel, the DDB and NBI, just to get the figures straight.
So ang ibig sabihin, Mr. Chairman, wala pa tayong definite number.
Depende po kung ano po yung pag-uusapan po ata natin. From what I understand, meron pong system ang Philippine National Police, which is sifting the incidents into depende po kung ano ang gusto nating makuha. Halimbawa po, incidents involving warrants of arrest, incidents involving buy-bust operations lang po. Sino ang namatay doon? May pulis ba doon? Walang namatay? O,
Mr. Chairman,
ganun po ang processing.
Mr. Chairman, let me just clarify. Ilan ba ang namatay in connection with this so-called war on drugs?
Depende rin po siguro kung sino pong namatay ang pinag-uusapan natin. Mga subjects po ba? May mga police din po, because from what I understand, the Philippine National Police has those figures po.
So in other words, Mr. Chairman, the Department of Justice doesn't have the data.
We have, sir, the initial data, but if this is the clear and final number, we cannot say for sure that this is it po. So, like I said po, we are continuously working with the Philippine National Police in cleaning up the numbers.
Kasi Mr. Chairman, iba-iba ang mga data, iba-iba ang mga numbers na nababasa namin. May nagsasabi na 6,000 ang namatay. Sinasabi mo po kanina 7,000. And may man nagkiklaim na umaabot sa 10,000. So, what is the real number? Can you give us a number which is close to reality?
Sir, kung ang pag-uusapan po natin yung pinakahuli pong numero na ibinigay po ng Philippine National Police, meron po ako ditong pwedeng maibigay na from July 1, 2016 hanggang June 30, 2022, meron pong 7,732 fatalities involving drug personalities po sa kanila.
7,732.
732.
So, sa 7,732 cases of deaths, ilan bang kaso ang i-file na?
Pwede po ako mag-refer sa Philippine National Police ng updated number po natin.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Sir, with regards po sa sa query po ninyo, unfortunately, wala po kaming kasamang from the Internal Affairs Office. Sila po sa palagi ang kan. By the way, we will coordinate with the IAS to get the records and we will submit it to this committee here.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, this is quite unfortunate. Now, we don't have any data on the number of cases filed by the PNP or by any authorized entity regarding the incidence of deaths in connection with the so-called war on drugs. Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to ask the Department of Justice, yung binanggit mong 7,700, ano yung mga napatay na yun?
Opo. With the Philippine National Police.
Pero wala
hindi
po
ko lang
sila
ma-point out.
Wala po sila eh.
Sabi ko po kasi kanina, ang interagency group po na pinatawag ni Secretary Remulla ay patuloy pa pong nagpa-process ng mga kaso. So I cannot say offhand kung meron pong mga high level or high value targets, but I am sure po meron. Hindi ko lang po masabi kung yung pangalan and yung number specific po, but I am sure there are.
Meron pa po ba, Congressman Bordado? Have any more questions?
No, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Bordado. We would now like to call on Representative Adyong for your questions.
Thank you, joint chairpersons. I'd just like to ask few clarificatory questions, perhaps to help me understand, Mr. Chairman, what transpired during the filing of the complaint and after that, before and after the withdrawal of our government from the ICC. Now, I have seen several dates, Mr. Chair, and I think it's essential, Mr. Chair, that we understand and appreciate the importance of these dates so that we may able to appreciate fully the subject at hand. First, Secretary Guevara mentioned about the differences in terms, the understanding of what jurisdiction is and how the ICC can exercise that jurisdiction. If I heard it right, the filing of withdrawal was on November 17 of 2017. Is it correct? Or 2018?
Yun pong notice of withdrawal ay ginawa noong March 2018 at nag-take effect po noong
After 1
March
year.
of 2019.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin po, is it safe to assume, Secretary, that once we've withdrawn from the Rome Statute, our government will no longer cooperate in, sabi nga ng presidente, in shape or in form, in relation to the investigation or the complaint filed before the ICC. Tama ho ba?
Kung meron pong preliminary investigations na simulan na bago nag-take effect yung ating withdrawal, then magtutuloy-tuloy po
Okay.
yun.
Yeah.
Opo, pero hindi po ganun yung nangyari sa case ng Philippines.
Okay. Sige, ibig sabihin, kanina po tinatanong ni Manong Edsel about yung pinapaklarify niya, Mr. Chair, the difference between the examination and the actual investigation.
Yes.
I think the exchanges, what I gathered from the exchanges between Congressman Edsel and the Good Secretary is that the jurisdiction has already been agreed upon, no? Tama po ba?
Yung jurisdiction over the subject matter, over the offenses, hindi po disputed yun.
Okay.
Talagang may jurisdiction po over the, let's say, alleged crime against humanity. During the period na miyembro po tayo, wala pong issue
Okay.
tungkol doon.
So, big sabihin, let me ask Mr. Chair, Congressman Colmenares, if I may. Earlier po, Attorney Colmenares, once a congressman is always be a congressman, sabi nga nila.
Salamat po,
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Congressman Colmenares, earlier you presented to us a series
Yes
of
po.
slides. In one of the slides, it indicated several dates. No, tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Particularly on slide number two. There are several dates here where, according to your presentation, our government requested for an extension of a 30-day, giving the OTP, requested the Office of the Prosecutor to defer the investigation for 30 days, giving our country, I don't know, to whether to do an investigation on our own or not. So is it right po yung pagkaintindi ko po?
Yes, Mr. Chair, you're right.
And then on December 22, maybe a month after that, our government also again requested for another extension.
Yes, Mr.
Is it
Chair.
correct?
Correct, Mr.
Would
Chair.
you know, Congressman Colmenares, which agency of the government made that appeal before the ICC request for an extension?
Well, I think if I may be correct here, Mr. Chair, the Solicitor General at the time was the one who represented the Philippines
Okay.
in the ICC.
Okay. Mr. Chair, Secretary Guevara, I'm sorry, I need to go back to you. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Help me understand, because as a non-lawyer, my understanding of recognizing jurisdiction, or if assuming that we have already withdrawn from the Rome Statute,
Mhm.
and I assume based on the dates given to us by Congressman Colmenares,
Mhm.
we have already,
Withdrawn.
kumbaga, yung membership natin have already been revoked. Sorry,
Withdrawn.
pardon for my lack of
Mhm.
vocabulary, no? We have already withdrawn. This is 2 years after the November 2019, where the withdrawal took effect. Why do we keep communicating with the ICC, requesting them for an extension of an investigation? If so, we do believe that we do not want to cooperate with them insofar as this investigation or this complaint is concerned. Why do we keep requesting the ICC for an extension if our position is that the ICC has no jurisdiction over this case?
Thank you, Your Honor, for asking that question. Let's remember that this deferral happened when the Republic had already effectively withdrawn. But we did continue to engage with the ICC prosecutor purely out of committee. We wanted to show to the ICC that we shared their vision of ending any alleged impunity happening in our country. But in all of this further engagements with the ICC prosecutor, notwithstanding that our withdrawal had taken effect, we made it very clear to the ICC prosecutor that we are not waiving any challenge on jurisdiction. We are just doing this so that you may be properly apprised about what the Philippine government is doing. So in fact, we submitted so much information about investigations being conducted by the PNP, by the NBI, by the DOJ, what cases had reached the court, and so forth and so on. We did that twice because we needed more information to submit to the ICC prosecutor, just to make him think that the Philippine government is doing what it was within its power to do. But notwithstanding all our submissions, it seems that is the point of the ICC prosecutor.
Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate your response, Secretary Guevara. Although for me, if it's only a matter of cordiality of our government being, because we've been a signatory to many treaties upholding human rights, I would understand if the communication or the exchanges between our country and ICC would merit only cordiality. But the communication in the exchanges really speaks about request of an extension. To me, by request of an extension would in a way acknowledging a certain power of such entity over our country. You do not request, Mr. Chair, for an extension if you do not at least recognize jurisdiction or authority over specific particular case, Secretary. So that is what I'm having trouble understanding.
Yes.
Mr. Secretary, sabi ko nga, if it's a mere cordiality, we're talking of cases that involves crimes against humanity. This is huge. A request from the government would necessarily entail, pardon my limited understanding of the international law or the law, but as using a common sense, as a layman, I would not ask for example, for you not to, because asking Mr. Chair, an extension gives you the prerogative and the power to do something over me. That is my understanding as a common person. So help me understand again, Mr.
Well,
Please.
Your Honor, as I already explained, notwithstanding that we made this request, we made it very, very clear to the ICC prosecutor that we are not waiving our
Right.
challenge
Okay.
to the jurisdiction. We simply wanted to show to you that we're doing something.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you. The ICC from conducting its investigation.
That is what the pretrial chamber said, that the prosecutor may
Okay.
continue his investigation.
So assuming, Mr. Chair, Secretary Guevara, assuming that there's going to be an investigation,
Mhm.
and our country will not cooperate, and yet we will not stop them from investigation. Help me understand how that would transpire.
Well,
In what way can that be possible?
the prosecutor has all the means.
So they can come
You can
here,
do online, you can interview witnesses.
but we will not, meaning to say we will not provide the investigators materials in relation to the cases that they are about to investigate, or they will be investigating the country.
Because exactly that is the government cooperation that may be requested, asking for official documents or asking that notices be effected through the government machinery, or trying to locate certain people, and so forth and so on.
Okay.
So the prosecutor can do that on his own.
But we will not simply open up our agencies, for example, and then help assist investigators
That
of
is the meaning of
into context. Mr. Chair, Secretary Guevara, there was already a case. I guess the good secretary also mentioned it earlier in his opening remarks regarding Pangilinan versus Cayetano. And in that ruling, the Supreme Court again also confirmed, just been confirmed by the secretary that prior to the withdrawal complaint or the allegations, covers a certain period.
Let me
Can
clarify.
it be enough for the government, for example, to at least put primacy to whatever, or at least not primacy, but favorably act upon the decision of the Supreme Court?
Not enough, Your Honor.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Also,
Would you like me to explain?
yes, please, Secretary.
Your Honor, Cayetano versus Pangilinan dwelt with the singular issue, just one issue, whether the withdrawal of the Philippines from the ICC or from the Rome Statute was valid.
Mhm.
The withdrawal, unilaterally by the President, that was the only issue in that case. And the Supreme Court came up with a decision in 2021 after the effectivity of our withdrawal. So how did the Supreme Court deal with that case? The Supreme Court said this petition filed by Senator Pangilinan is dismissed because it is moot and academic. Right. But in the process, the Supreme Court made certain disquisitions about certain obligations, etc., which are not directly related to the issue at hand. So lawyers call that statement coming from the Supreme Court, which is not directly related to the issue at hand, as obiter dictum. And an obiter dictum does not result in a doctrine or a ruling that can be enforced. It is not the source of any judicially enforceable right. So it is mere obiter. And if I may say so, it was incomplete because the Supreme Court said that the ICC would retain jurisdiction over offenses that were committed during the time that the Philippines was still a member. However, the court did not make any explanation as to when this jurisdiction can be exercised by the ICC. So to that extent, hindi rin po kumpleto yung obiter dictum na isinama ng Supreme Court doon sa decision, which simply dismissed the petition for being moot and academic. All the other discussions were not related to the issue at hand.
So, in other words, Mr. Chair, para lang pasimple po, no? Para pasimple. Ibig sabihin, una, hindi siya enforceable.
Hindi siya doctrinal ruling
Yes,
of the court in that case and therefore need not be followed.
Okay. So, hindi siya talaga enforceable. In other words, hindi
Yeah.
siya
Yes,
enforceable.
it may be persuasive, Your Honor, it may be persuasive, but that is not the doctrinal ruling of the court. In other words, if an actual case is brought before the court on that particular issue, then things may be different.
In other words po, the government, the executive branch is not it's kumbaga
It's not bound.
It's not
It's
obligated.
not bound by that
Okay.
obiter.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Now, the reason why I guess, based on my simple understanding and humble understanding on on these three resolutions and the case where the government is actually arguing why there is no need for the ICC to investigate is because of the case, it's been already cited, no, and it's been cited currently today, na yung issue of sovereignty, no. I guess that's the main point. Nung sinasabi na the court is very functional, nag-ooperate in a robust condition, so there's no need for the international or alien entity for that matter. So again, for my use of word, na pumasok dito because our courts is very much alive and kicking and in tsaka in a robust condition. Earlier, I heard Congressman Colmenares, you said it was your decision to advise your clients not to file the case before our courts. Is it correct?
Yes, that is correct, Mr. Chair.
And did I hear it correctly that because of the immunity that you have cited earlier, that's why you have advised your clients not to file it before our regular courts here in the Philippines?
That's one of the reasons, Mr.
That's one of the
Only
reasons.
one, Mr. Chair, among others, Mr. Chair.
I do agree with the argument, Mr. Chair, 100% na solid po ang korte natin. Na nag-work po ang ating korte. Na meron ho tayong justice system dito. Congressman Colmenares, given the fact that the one that you have mentioned has already been out of office, would you still maintain your advice to your clients to continue on filing the case before the Supreme Court, before the ICC? Would you advise this time around your clients to file it before our courts?
That is a matter for them to decide, Mr. Chair. We're just the counsel. However, the issue of trust, Mr. Chair, is also there. For example, just the question of Congressman Bordado. How many were killed? 7,732. How many cases were filed? And the DOJ doesn't even know. The PNP doesn't know. So the impression of everybody is, it's not, you may be working, the judicial system may be working, but you're unwilling. So that's another matter that the families of the victims will have to decide. But this is not very encouraging, Mr. Chair. I mean, it's 2016. It's now 2023. And the DOJ cannot even give a straight answer, Mr. Chair. Of the 7,732, in fact, this is the only time that I know that there's 7,732. Under the rules, even the rules of engagement of the PNP, for every death in the execution of a search or a warrant, there must be an inquest. That is in the rules of engagement. So the question to the PNP and the DOJ, how many inquests out of 7,732 have you conducted? Because it cannot be done, Mr. Chair. You know, the moment a death is there and the official involved say, it's self-defense. Okay, self-defense. Nanlaban, okay, di tapos. No, that's not what the rules say. That's not what the law says. The law says, well, that is his defense. But you go to court, you killed somebody. I'll charge you with murder. When you go to court, you present your evidence and say, well, nanlaban eh. But it's not, hindi pwedeng ine-entertain ng rule of law at the very least that you killed somebody and yet no charges will be filed against you on your mere say-so na nanlaban kasi self-defense lang yon. That's not how it is, Mr. Chair. And so we were expecting out of 7,732 cases, 7,732 deaths, 7,732 cases were filed, and maybe 2,000 were acquitted because it's self-defense. The 3,000 is still pending, but you cannot say we only filed, 56, if I don't know how many were filed. In fact, until now, I don't even know how many were filed. So that is an issue that must be settled by not just probably the victims themselves, but the families also, because that goes into the very question of kita nyo naman po, Mr. Chair, kanina, genuine investigation and prosecution. So I guess we'll ask them later on, but the way we're going today, it's not encouraging, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Colmenares. That would be all, I guess, Mr. Chair, Ms. Joint Chairperson. Thank you, Secretary Guevara, for your candid response. Thank you.
Ngayon, ikaw, bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.